So welcome back to the channel. I am going to do a review on the Erbauer 2100 watt router. Now you may have noticed I'm waving my hands about in the video. I'm having to narrate this because the sound disappeared on the actual footage, so I do my best to talk you through what I'm doing and showing with this Erbauer router. Just purchased this from B&Q. It's £120 here in the UK, and I've had an Erbauer before, so I thought I'd go with the same one. It's a relatively budget router, but they are packed with a lot of features, as you can imagine. As you can see, I'm still waving my hands around, so I must be saying something quite boring at the moment, but there you go. So we're going to get the box opened. Before I do, just going to point out some things on the box. It does come with variable speed. It has a 3-meter cord, which is a very good feature that Erbauer have. They do put quite long cords on these tools that they produce. It comes with the depth gauges and the step depth gauge, and it does have a plunge facility, so it's spring loaded. It just springs up and down and you can lock it off. It's also variable speed with a slow speed start, so it does happen to start off really slow and then it builds up the speed and then you can whiz away with it once you've got it running. That's quite a good thing to have on a router, because you don't want it bolting straight out the door once you pull the trigger switch. So it also has a micro depth adjuster as well, so you can adjust it with some slight adjustments on the micro depth. Just come with some bits and pieces. It comes with a couple of collets, the 8mm and the 12mm, which is fitted, which is the 1/2 inch, and the 1/4 inch. Also comes with spanner, guide rails, and the collets that fit in your guide rail for router jigs. So it has the standard size, I think that's 20mm, and the 12mm again for doing smaller work. It comes with 3 bits as well, so you've got some bits to go inside the router if you want to use them. There's one that's rounding off, one of them's a groove, and I think the other one's a cutting router for doing cutting out, obviously. So we're opening the box now. Now these Erbauer products, they do come with a very good carry case. Now the last one I had was a lot bigger than this, so I'll be surprised on if it can fit in, because the other one that I had, I struggled to get it in and out of the case. It was mainly the wire that came with the tool that caused the problems. You couldn't get it all back in once you'd got everything out. So struggling a bit to get it out of the box here, so give us a minute and we should have it out of the box shortly. There we go. Bit of persuasion. Probably a good idea to open the other end of the box and just push it through. There you go. That is quite a sturdy case that you've got here, and just going to adjust the camera now and change the angle so you can see what's inside the case. And here we have the router. I'm just about to open it. It has really good clasps on the front as well. Now sometimes they do snap, but generally speaking, out of all the tools I've not had many problems with the case or anything. So they just unclip, very simple. And once you're inside, there you can see there are attachments in the lid, and there is the router and the instructions. But as most people, we don't read the instructions. And as you can see there, this is the 3-meter length cord that comes with it, with a standard UK 3-pin plug. Comes with it like a tie wrap, so you have to untwist it just to get it out. There you go. There you see me demonstrating how long it is. This is the router body, and there you go. Feels very sturdy, it's got quite good grips, and it's got a really nice spring-loaded plunge to it. You can basically get your fingers and thumbs in the right places on the handle grips as well. And there you can see the step gauge as well, that's adjustable, is the height, and when you're stepping it up and down, that's just so you can step the router down and lock it off at precise intervals when you're doing routering, especially when you're doing worktops and doing the keyhole cutouts, because especially on these some of these worktops is you just start a shorter depth and then go a bit deeper as you're going down, depending on what the worktops you're doing as well. It's not an exact science, but yeah, it's got, there's the locking lever, that's locking the height or the depth. Just push it down to unlock it and back up to lock it in place, and that locks your router off. Here are the 3 bits that you get with it. So there's a rounding off bit, a groove bit, and a cutter, a flute cutter. Also get the collets as well, which again adjust the size for different size router bits. There's 3, there's 1 already inside it, and then you just pick the other ones if you need them. I generally do that. I use 2 different routers, you see, for doing stuff like that. In the top of the case, these are the guide bushes that you get, and they are screwed in, as you can see, the couple of wing nuts. So just remove them so we can get them out. And also you can see there's the guide rail as well, which has got a lot of fancy adjustments on it. So they pretty much thought of everything of Erbauer, really. It's one of those things. There's the guide rail, which has some micro adjustment to it as well on the end. And of course you can just lock this off as well with the thumb screws on the top. There's quite a sturdy guide rail as well, it's not flimsy. Also comes with a non-slip mat, it's just tucked away there. As for putting down while you're doing some intricate routering work with your router, so the piece of wood doesn't go flying. So just putting everything back in the case, and what we're going to do is cut out some keyholes in the worktop. I'm going to straighten the end off the worktop as well to straighten this up so I can butt joint it to the other one. These are solid oak worktops, so you don't need to do a worktop joint because they are square edged. It's not worth doing on this type of worktop, and you could cause more problems as well doing that, because with it being solid wood it can splinter, and these tend to splinter a lot of these worktops as well because there's no laminated surface on the top. So you can see I'm putting the router back together in its case, and we're going to set up for routering next. So I've got the router set up now with the jig, and we're going to be cutting out some of the keyholes. This is what I call them. These are where the clamps go underneath the worktop, and very simple. I just use the step mode on the router to make sure that I'm cutting out gradually on these oak worktops. So you see me doing quite a few different passes there on the keyholes. It's very simple to do. It doesn't really take that long to do it. It's just you're doing all the adjustments on the router to do it. These are, like I said, solid work oak tops, so they can be a bit trickier than standard off-the-shelf worktops, and they come from a company called Worktop Company, I think, and they deliver them straight to your door. So yeah, it's quite handling quite well, this router as well. It's not like it's underperforming. It's got enough power to do what you want it to do. It's nice easy grip. As you can see, I've got both my hands on the handles. They're in perfect position as well for being able to see what you do. Now you might notice that the dust extraction guard is being removed from the router because it kept unclipping. It only clipped in place. Now on other routers they do tend to have a bolt on one, so it bolts on from the underneath, and it's probably a better idea than what Erbauer have done with this one, because it just kept popping off. I mean, you can see my vacuum cleaner. That is the Einhell portable vac that I was going to use to help get rid of the sawdust and that. But it, like I say, it just kept popping off, so I got fed up and just removed it anyway. It was getting in the way anyway. So yeah, that being said, it's working quite well as a router, and we're going to move on to the side as well and do the side ones for the other part of the worktop, and it's doing a really good job. I'm quite impressed with it so far, except for the dust extraction. That's the only fault I've got with it, and hopefully they might improve that design, because on the old one that I used to have, that one definitely bolted on, and that worked a lot better. So obviously I use my vac to get rid of any of the debris anyway, the sawdust, the shavings, etc, etc. So once again, thank you for watching the channel. Hope you're getting something out of this channel, and I'm very sorry I had to narrate it. I was going to see where the sound file had gone, but I can't find it on the video. It definitely didn't record the sound, put it that way. So obviously there's no sound effects going on here. It's just me working in silence. It's a silent movie. So once again, thanks for watching. We do appreciate everybody who subscribes to this channel. It helps us buy the equipment that we need to do the reviews. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you in another video soon. Thanks for watching.